Raptors yet again take care of business, and for the first time in a long time, they're above the 500 mark at 40-39 on the year. And they head into Charlotte for game 2, this little 2-game set they got going on, and they win 120-100. Look, it started a little hairy, but it got to a point where I thought to myself, this is bound to change at some point. They're not going to shoot as incredible as they were early. The Raptors aren't going to shoot insanely bad as they were early on in the game. That was going to flip. And it did in the second quarter. But in the first, the Raptors, sorry guys, trying not to sneeze here, at one point were down 8, something like that. They were not in good shape for the most of that first quarter. They ended up losing the first quarter, 29-25. Then in the first bit of the second quarter, they're still a little sluggish. They're hanging around, though, keeping the deficit below 10. And then they go on a really big run. And it's capped off with a couple plays from Will Barton. And I got to play these both because him and Boucher were incredible off the bench tonight. We'll get to them. They're the MVPs for me in the game. But let's break this down. With about 3:50 to go, up 5, Will Barton has the ball behind the 3-point line. He's trying to get around his man. Can't do it. Gets by the 3-point line. Screw it. Let me chuck that thing up. Knocks it down. We fast forward here. Where is it now? Next, so we have a minute and a half to go. You're only up by 3. Fred gives it to Pascal, who swings to OG, swings it to the corner. Will Barton again drills another 3. And I believe with that second 3 he made there, that was his 4th 3 of the second quarter alone. Will Barton was on fire in the second frame. Raptors win the second quarter 36-20. And that 4-point deficit is long gone. They are now up 12 at the break. Got to come in the third quarter and continue your dominance. They do that. They win that third quarter 33-26. They're up by almost 20. It's more or less in cruise control at that point. They win the fourth quarter by 26-25. And like I said, they win by 20. 120-100. Look, that's a team you're supposed to demolish. We talked about in the last game how it's a team you're supposed to beat and you're supposed to beat them single-handedly. You did that. Once you got them at about, once they got about above 10 there late in the second quarter, it didn't look back. I don't even know if it got within single digits after that. Like, the Raptors were up big for the majority of the game. Yeah, the early struggles, but they were able to exercise those in about a quarter and a half. And then for the final, 2.5 quarters, they were remarkable. And they closed it out as they should have in Charlotte to win the game. Like I said, 120-100 and get to above 500 at 40-39. Because I believe that is now, 3 games left for the Toronto Raptors in the regular season portion. Let me quickly fact check myself there. Because I want to make sure. I believe it's Boston, Milwaukee, isn't it? To end the year. So we got Boston tomorrow in Boston. Boston in Boston on Friday. And then Sunday home for Milwaukee, and there's the end of the year. So 3 games left for the Raptors against teams that are, not terrible. And let me guess, I think I saw we were still in 9th. Did the Hawks really win tonight? They beat Chicago. Every time we lose, they lose. Every time we win, they win. The Hawks won their game. They're 40-39. Damn it. So we're still in that 9th spot in the Eastern Conference. Crazy. But you know what? The Raptors are doing what they're supposed to do against the teams they're supposed to beat, right? But now you got 3 tough teams to end the year. It'll take a lot of guts for this team. Now, player stats. Jakob Poeltl. Didn't think he was great. 10 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, shot 5 of 9. Was missing a few bunnies in the inside. Pascal finished up a couple of those ones, a few tap-ins. He ended the game with 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. 8 of 16 shooting, 6 of 7 from the line. Missed both threes, but he only took 2. And had 2 steals and 2 blocks. I thought he was great tonight. The energy. And that's something with Pascal. There are a few games here and there where he's just kind of non-existent. And you're like, man, the percentages are low. It's not being very aggressive. He's chucking up a lot of threes. Not pretty. Well, today, I liked his game. Wasn't forced. Didn't chuck up random threes. Only took 2, like I said. Was sound on the defensive end with the 2 and 2. I liked it. OG, 17, 2 and 5. Continues his incredible efficient shooting from the field at 8 of 15, but was 1 of 6 from distance. That brings down those numbers. But again, you can't expect OG to shoot like 5 of 6 every night. And when you're getting bench scoring like you got from Barton and Boucher today, you can afford that from OG. He still gave you 2 steals and a block and was a plus 13 on the floor, so good job there. Fred VanVleet, interesting how he wasn't looking for his shot today. You know, you look at the board, 16 points, 1 board, 6 assists, right? Not a big night. Only took 9 shots, was 4 of 9 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, was 3 of 5 from 3. The efficiency was there, and that's something that Raptor fans have talked about all year long and going back to last year as well, rightfully so. He's taken so many shots some games, and the efficiency is poor. Well, if shooting less and facilitating more and doing a lot of more off-ball stuff for Fred leads to a game like this where the efficiency is great, maybe the production numbers aren't the best, but 4 of 9 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, 3 of 5 from 3, 4 steals, a block, and a plus 12, I'll take that any day of the week. Right? Again, I like the simplicity of his game. Scotty Barnes, the one guy that struggled mightily today. Didn't play 30 minutes, kind of one of those games where Nick puts him on the bench. Scotty loves the big stage, it seems. Right? Games against Milwaukee, game against Miami with Lowry in town, right? When we go back to last year's playoffs against Philly, Scotty loves the spotlight. What was his first big game in the NBA? Against Boston at TD Garden last year, right? So you look at all this stuff and you're like, Scotty loves the big stage, the big moments. A road game, second in a row against a Charlotte team who are playing a bunch of G Leaguers for the most part. Shout out to Mihailuk. Yeah, not very motivated. And clearly that was the case. Didn't have a single point in the game. Was 3 boards, 3 assists, was 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, and was a -3 in a 20-point win. Rough night for Scotty. You move on, though. Let's get to the MVPs of this game, though. Chris Boucher had 21 points, 2 boards off the bench, shot 6 of 8 from the field, 6 of 7 from the... Dude, Boucher got to the free throw line 7 times. Remarkable. 3 of 4 from 3 as well, was a plus 20 while he was out there on the floor. The energy was there, the shot making was there, the defensive intensity was there. I loved what Boucher brought off the bench today. Just really aggressive in both aspects, really. And Will Barton, the thought of him coming over and just being a shooter, score, get us buckets. Will Barton had 20 points, 1 board, 2 assists today, shot 7 of 12 from the field, was 6 of 9 from 3, and as I mentioned earlier, knocked down 4 threes in that pivotal second quarter that turned the game around into a Raptors double-digit advantage. He was a plus 26 while he was on the floor. Will Barton's game was great. Had a mid-range jump shot late in the third quarter, knocked down the 3. I believe it was in the fourth as well. I can't remember. But I loved Will Barton's game. I mean, look, let's be honest. When was the last time... You guys can look this up for me. When was the last time a Raptors bench unit had 2 guys that scored 20-plus in the same game? Feels like forever. I don't think it's happened this year. If it has, it was an anomaly. Hell of a game from those guys. And even Precious, off the bench, gave you 12 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, was 2 of 4 from 3, and a plus 9 on the floor. I like that game for Precious, man. Look, those 3 guys gave you a lot of, and he was a plus 9. In a game where in the early goings your team was struggling, those guys went out there and did a job. So proud of that bench unit. Look, you need some sort of bench unit. Come playoff time, come play-in time, you're going to need some guys to give you some effort off the bench. Now, is this something they build on? Is this something Will Barton and Chris Boucher build on going into Boston tomorrow? Look, we'll see. But I thought the guys, the entire team really played cohesive. I thought Fred, like I said earlier, wasn't forcing his offense. I believe it was Was it the first? No, Will Barton had the first 5 in the fourth quarter, but Fred VanVleet, I believe, had the final 5 points of the third quarter. I believe. So, and they were good shots. I think one was a mid-range jumper for Fred. They got the and one. Actually, might have had the last 6 as well. That tough high arcing shot to get the and one. I can't remember if he got the free throw or not. And then knocked down a corner 3 as well. Really good job for Fred. Will Barton starting, the bench unit giving you a spark to start the fourth quarter. It's something this team has not seen a lot of this year. Now, there's 3 games left. I'm not going to start making these moral victories and how things could get better. No, it's 3 games left. That's it. But we move on. Team stats quickly. We shot 48% from the field on 11 more attempts. They shot 47% from the field. Raptors shot 46% from 3 to their 39% from 3. Raptors were plus 3 in the makes. So good stuff there. And from the free throw line, 75% for the Raptors, 84% for the Hornets. The assists in the last game, obviously Fred had 20 of them, and the team over, I think, had 38, I believe. Well, we had 27 assists today. Over the season average, yet again for the Raptors. The ball movement, great yet again. On the glass, plus 4 in the offensive boards, 10-6, which led to 13-7 in second chance points. And then you look at the turnovers. They had 17 turnovers. The Raptors only turned it over 6 times. Taking care of the rock, man. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. That leads to 20-9 in the fast break and 22-10 in the points off of turnovers. The biggest lead of the night for the Raptors was 24. Look, they did their job. We move on. Tomorrow, on the second night of a back-to-back, the Raptors take on the Boston Celtics at TD Garden for the first of a 2-game little mini set in Massachusetts. 7:30 tip-off there, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the W tonight, smack that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Raptors? The Twitter and Instagram links are down below, so follow up the same medium to that great stuff. The Discord, TikTok links are down below as well. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, very shortly, as they obviously won their game today against Kansas City Royals. Thank God. Yusei Kikuchi, Cy Young Award, baby. As for the Leafs, they won a Columbus game that we'll talk about shortly, 4-2, whoopie-doo. And as for the Raptors, we talked about it. They're back in action tomorrow night as they're in Boston, taking on the Celtics at TD Garden. 7:30 tip-off there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the W tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.